I'm pretty much aware that the last time I made a comparison video on this channel, I mean, almost the entire South Africa citizens were not happy with me, and some were actually on my side because, I mean, when the fact is there, you can actually see we don't need to beat around the bush. Today, I'm here to compare Ghana versus Canada, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have been expecting this video because the first one that I made, there were a lot of comments of people complaining, hey, why don't you compare Ghana to Canada? You from Ghana, you know nothing about South Africa. Why are you comparing South Africa to Canada and all that? So just to make everything square, I'm just going to talk about Ghana versus Canada. And for my experience of being in Ghana and also being in Canada for, I mean, these few moments, I believe I can share my overall thoughts about this particular countries. So getting straight into it, so the first one that I'm going to talk about will have to be the safety. And honestly, I'm not going to be biased. I will try as much as possible to be fair. And when it comes to safety, Ghana and Canada, honestly, Ghana is safe, yeah. I've been to Ghana, I've spent time there, and I don't know how the system is. I would pretty much say Ghana is safe, but Canada is actually safer. I mean, this may differ. We all different, and maybe you might be staying at a high-end, maybe police areas, military base, and not experience any crime and all that, but that doesn't mean there isn't any crime in Ghana. In as much as Ghana is safe, I think Canada is way safer. Well, that's because I haven't experienced any issues in Canada so far. I think there is crime in Canada. I'm not gonna cap about this. There is crime. Once again, I mean, in a while you can hear this in the news that there've been a gunshot, there've been a murder, there've been this and that. You hardly hear about those things though, but I'm not gonna say it's not there. I mean, honestly, there's no country that is safe. But when I'm to compare Ghana versus Canada, I'll pretty much say that Canada is more safer than Ghana. I mean, Ghana, it's mix of different other African countries in there. And we do have Nigerians, we do have Togo. A whole lot of people are actually in Ghana. So I'm not going to say Ghana is much safer than Canada. It is safe, all right? Don't get me wrong. Ghana is very much safer. And actually, when we're talking about the safest African country, Ghana happens to be on the list, all right? So Ghana is pretty much safe. I mean, there are some areas that are not safe. I don't know much places in Ghana, but there are some areas that are very dangerous. And once in a while, you do hear about bank robberies. Once in a while, you do hear about kidnapping. You do hear about like a whole lot of stuff and corruption and all that. But I think if we put in the whole Africa, I mean, on the list, Ghana will actually be on the safest country. But once again, Canada is way safer than Ghana. And this might vary, yeah? It all depends. So the next one that I'm going to put out here will have to be the opportunities. I believe I did the same thing with South Africa versus Canada. And I did share my, when I talk about those things, I'm basically talking about my personal experience. I'm not a geographic person for countries, so I cannot actually put down stakes. So I'm just talking based on my experience, and it might differ. Maybe you might go to South Africa, and you might even go to any country, and as soon as you get there, you get a job, things start going well for you. Someone might also go there, and the person might have the worst experience ever. So it all depends, all right? It's very much broad. So if I put my opinions out there, do not feel like, okay, I'm taking sides or I'm actually hating on a particular. No, that's not the case. But this is just based on my personal opinion. So the next one is opportunities. And I feel like there is opportunities in Ghana, but still there is more opportunities in Canada. I feel like with Canada, that is simply because it's a bigger country. I mean, Ghana is not even a quarter of the size of Canada. So it's pretty much understandable. There is opportunities in Ghana, but that is not always the case. A lot of people do say Ghana's opportunity, sometimes you need to have money in order to build or create something. And looking for jobs, you can also find jobs, but it also depends on the field that you need. I think there are some fields that are very much tougher to get, especially when you're talking about the office. Okay, there we go again. I don't know why this light does that, but anytime I'm shooting, it just goes off. So what happens is it uses a sensor. So if it doesn't sense for a while, it automatically goes off. Let me see if I can get it on. All right. So yeah, I'm back again. So like I was saying, there is opportunities in Ghana, but it all depends on which sector you're actually looking for. I believe with the office side, it might be a bit difficult, but if you are looking for minor jobs, I mean, hard labors and all that, you can pretty much get. I remember when I got to Ghana, I had nothing doing, so I decided to maybe put out, some search. I got the chance to visit KSS, is a Vhimstudios. So he actually posted a vacancy that he needs some people to work with, and I actually got there. I applied. I actually thought, I'm not going to qualify because I applied as a media personnel to do editing, video capturing, and all that. And apparently, I was accepted. I was pretty much accepted. So they actually accepted to work with me. But unfortunately, I wasn't able to due to the distance and some misagreement. We didn't actually come to agreements when it comes to the financial part. But that's a story for another day. So when you are looking for a job in Ghana, I think you can still get, but it all depends on which sector you are looking for. But in Canada, it does not matter whether you are looking for office job, as long as you are not looking to be a president. Any other job is there for everyone. You can actually look into getting any job, whether hard labor, office job, like any job that you want, as long as you have the skills, you have the previous talent and skills, the experiences from whatever, and you are willing, you got all the certificates. I believe there is a job for everyone in Canada. But in Ghana, there is jobs, but there is certain jobs that it's actually easier. There are some jobs that are very, very tough. You can hardly get them unless through connection, middlemen and stuff. So you do know what I'm saying. Sometimes you need to get through someone to recommend you to someone, for the recommendation to go to another recommendation and all that. So it's just crazy. But Canada got more opportunities, more jobs than Ghana. So the next one that I'm going to put out here will have to be the weather condition. And before I go on with the weather condition, I know this light is going to go off again. I know it's going to go off again. So pardon me if it does. I'll just have to stand up and wave a little bit. Then it should be fine. So the weather condition. And being someone that I've actually lived in South Africa for quite some time now, I don't really feel, much cold. Let me say, I don't feel, it's like it's not new to me being in Canada. I've experienced winter, I've experienced summer, I've experienced spring, so it's not a new thing to me. But in Ghana, it's always summer. Honestly, they said that there is a harmattan and all that where it gets very dry, but I don't even consider that as weather changes. I think the main weather that you always going to get or face in Ghana will have to be summer. So every time is hot. Every freaking time is hot. Like sometimes it gets extremely hot that I don't even know what to do to myself. I remember when I went to Ghana, it was just crazy. I'm not the type of person that normally carries face towels, but when I got to Ghana, I was dying. I had to buy multiple towels. I had about 4 of them. So it was just crazy. So with Ghana weather, it's always hot. And someone might also be okay with that. Someone prefers summer more than the winters and all that. That doesn't mean in Canada we don't have summer. We do have winter and summer as well, but most months, let's say, I think the longest is summer. So pretty much most of the months will have to be the cold, and then a little bit of summer, and yeah, you get the point. So it switches between summer and winter. But in Ghana, it's always hot. It's always hot. So if you're someone that you enjoy hot weather, you love hot weather, then Ghana is the best place. For me, I'll choose the cold weather than the hot weather. Let me freeze. Let me freeze. I don't want to be hot. So if Ghana is even this hot, imagine hell. Sometimes me drink I'll repent. Amen. In as much as it gets extremely cold, sometimes it even goes to -40. That's insane. -40 is just insane. It's more than a fridge. More than a fridge. Way colder than anywhere I've been to. way colder. So like I said, being someone that I've been to South Africa, I can actually adapt easily to Canada weather. It's not going to be easy, but it's much easier than someone who have never experienced winter at all. I'm not fan of, hotness. If you are someone that you love hot, if you want to be hot, go to Ghana. Ghana will favor you. So yes, the next one will have to be cost of living. I think this is the main point, one of the points that a lot of people had issues with me on my first video. Honestly, cost of living, I'm going to have to give it to Ghana, because with the cost of living, I feel Canada is expensive, okay? Let's not do any conversion or take a dollar to cedis or whatever. We do know that dollar is obviously way ahead than the cedis and all that. But if we are to say cost of living, like if you give me 1,000 in Canada and 1,000 in Ghana, I can do something better in Ghana than Canada. Because 1,000 in Canada, in as much as it sounds huge, it's nothing at all, okay? You pay your rent, you buy Tim Hortons 2 times, is done. Cost of living in Canada is just crazy. And the more craziest thing is, once you buy something, you pay tax. Anything you buy, there is tax. Anything you buy, there is tax. I actually didn't know about this. The first time I experienced it, I almost Kameyabodam. So I was in France, and at the airport, there is this fridge that they have over there. So I wanted a drink because I'm thirsty. I just came out from the airport. I'm checking out. So there's this fridge there. I'm like, okay, cool. I got some pounds here. Was it pounds or euros? I can't remember. I think euros or so. I'm like, okay, cool. Let me put it in the machine and take the drink out. So I think the drink was about 5 euros or so. And then I put the money in there. They were like, okay, no, it's 5 point. Like, what is the point for? Mainly in Canada, there is taxes on everything, which is so annoying. Because anything you buy, there will be an additional cost. And the worst thing is, they don't even include that amount in the purchase price. So let's say if you are buying bread for $2, they don't even include the tax inside the amount. So at least if it was inside, we won't feel that much of pain. But it's not inside, so they will separate it. Okay, it's $2. When you go to check in, they'll say, okay, it's 2.5. Why? So cost of living, I feel like Canada is honestly unya komemba. If you don't have the heart and kidney, you won't survive. But in Ghana, when you go to the market and someone is selling orange or mango, if he says 1 cedi is 1 cedi, you won't say 1 cedi and then when it's the time to pay, say 1 cedi 50 pesos. No. Ghana, you can always negotiate. Negotiation, that is where it started from. West African negotiations, that is where the factory is. So if you bring me, let's say, a bread, soap, or food, car parts, whatever, and then you're like, okay, it's 500 Ghana cedi. Oh, my brother, come on, you see this weather, it's not raining. It has been very hard this day and customers don't come. I'll give you 200. Be like, oh, no, add 50, make it 250. Okay, let me make it 220. You see, so we negotiate. So cost of living that side is pretty much flexible, all right? Everyone can adapt easily. If that's why they say if you have a lot of money in Canada and you go to Ghana, you'll be rich, because cost of living will not hit you. If you want to buy a house, mortgage, everything is quite affordable. But here, you will feel it. To muru you, man. So another thing is enjoyment, daily life, and food options as well. And I think with enjoyment, I've been to a few clubs in Canada so far, and I think with the enjoyment aspect in Canada, well, maybe because I haven't gone to the best clubs, because normally when I went, the first one that I went, hey, these guys almost, they were showing a tour, like, hey, about me, but now no phone, you'll be doing this, and an old man, I saw one old man about 60 plus, busy throwing money. Stripper no, to tuske boomsa, or to go yinim. So about ne BMT no, like, I'm saying no. So is this even the enjoy? So the enjoyment in Canada, there is enjoyment, but I feel like it's not for everybody, okay? Unless maybe you talk about the African clubs, yeah, maybe you might get 2% of what we have in Ghana. But Ghana with enjoyment, especially in December, yeah, a woman, I just said, I'm for like enjoyment in Ghana is just insane. So when it comes to enjoyment, I think Ghana is much fun It all depends. It all depends. Because I'm not the party type. I'm not a club person. I'm not, like, I'm just chill. But it all depends. Someone might also say, no, I don't like a lot of people in a club. I prefer the strippers level and all that. When it comes to that level of strippers and all that, then Canada, because Ghana promotes strippers. But here, there's a lot of strippers. Kuhu be pa chale. Hey! No, didn't send me say, hey, abotre. We all say, you wanna buy me a drink? Hey, I don't want to buy you a drink. Wow, so it all depends on, I mean, your level of enjoyment, but I would say Ghana is much more enjoyable than Canada. And when it comes to food options, I mean, we don't even need to compete that much. It all depends, okay? A white person might be watching this and be like, no, I prefer my Canadian food, my sandwich, my steak, and what, you see. But if a Ghana person is watching this, you'll be like, no, I want that banku, egusi, you see those plantain and those fufu level, those ones, then you must go back home. But here, we are all about pizza, Donnell, hamburger, Tim Hortons, Subway, you see those junk fast food, and on the top, I mean, just like South Africa, we do have spato, how do you call it? Quarter, some call it quarter, but the main food, the main dish is pap. It all depends, but I mean, when it comes to food, for Africans, you can still get them here. They are here. There's a shop actually in downtown. There is quite a few shops that sells Ghana products and all that, but you should know that it's not going to be as cheaper as you get them that side. So here you might actually be getting one plantain, but here by a coupon, $8 and $5. You see, if okoya conversion now, so please don't do conversion. So with that level, I would say, yeah, it's food options. Ghana is obviously, I mean, that's where the factory is, the main warehouse is Ghana. So the last one is economy and infrastructures, and I mean, we don't need to talk much about this. Ghana, Canada, obviously, Canada got a better economy, better infrastructures, more infrastructures than Ghana. I mean, Ghana, I heard even the tallest building in Ghana is that one by Accra Mall. The day someone told me that the tallest building in Ghana is that Accra Mall building, I'm like, what? That building is almost like someone's height, man. So that's the tallest building in Ghana, and I don't know the biggest mall. I think the biggest mall is Accra. I don't know, but we don't really have much options. I mean, there are malls and I mean a few shops here and there. Ghana, there's mostly local shops, but when it comes to mall, there are very few. I mean, you don't even get Subway, Tim Hortons, KFC. You can probably count them. McDonald's, nothing. I went to Ghana. Was there McD? No, I didn't see McD. Maybe there might, but probably 2 or 3. So, I mean, infrastructures, Canada obviously takes the win. But economy-wise, Canada still takes the win. Ghana, with economy, I say more. You see, I'm a political level, so I don't do politics. So, I mean, you all do know these things. I shouldn't be talking much about it. But overall, Ghana versus Canada, it all depends, all right? For me, I'm someone that I didn't actually spend much time in Ghana. Most of my life has always been outside. So Ghana is a nice place when it comes to asumdwe, like peace of mind. Like honestly, if say that's always KB now person say na kofi. But if you really want to hustle, make it in life. I mean, like you really want to be on your own and think and grow yourself and have a better future business plan, then I think traveling is always advisable. It's not only Canada, any other country. Sometimes you need to be away from home, your background, just to, I mean, improve, see how things are done in the other side, and also easier to better yourself in, I mean, wherever you come from. So Ghana is a very nice country. It is safe, but comparing it to Canada, it's just so stupid and dumb, which I shouldn't be doing. But anyway, thanks for coming. I hope you do enjoy this video. Do not forget to like, subscribe. My bro, it's time for me to go home, and I'll catch you in the next one. Stay safe. Peace.